So this is Sean, and today we're talking about, and as real estate professionals, we need to be very prepared on how to have the conversations related to the lawsuit and the settlement related to NAR and the National Association of Realtors, and how that might impact our business, our trade, and our pricing, real estate commissions in the future. We are starting to see a lot of our clients bring this subject up. The most common way these days that we're hearing about it is in a listing agreement where a seller says, hey, does that mean I don't have to pay the buyer's agent commission anymore? Like, it's a cost that I don't have to pay anymore. Woohoo! And there's a lot more to the story than that. And being prepared as a professional to make sure and stick to the facts, and as we always do in our profession, be able to let our client know the risks involved with actions they do or don't take, as well as the potential gains as to what they do and don't take. Because quite often they make decisions based on limited information without knowing the full spectrum of how those decisions might impact them later, such as maybe removing the buyer's agent commission completely because they feel they might be able to get away with it because of the settlement, and maybe the buyer can pay their own commissions now. And maybe that decision may impact their bottom line significantly more than not paying the 3% buyer's agent commission if that is what they had in mind. And so it's incredibly important as a real estate professional that we understand right now the facts about what has happened in the settlement and what will be changing, and to make sure and to define that clearly when we're asked or approached about these questions from our clientele, or maybe even bring the subject up on our own to dispel the myths, to separate the facts from the speculative aspects, which is probably the most of the conversation right now is related to the speculation of how our industry may change in the future. Because quite often as humans, we're always excited about thinking about how things may play out over time, and that gets most of our attention when really we need to focus on the facts. So we need to lead those conversations. We need to be prepared to have them as real estate professionals because our clients are already thinking about them and already bringing them up. I'm personally very excited about what is to come from this, and that's getting into some of the speculative aspects as well. But the facts are that there has been a settlement, and on our MLSs, come the middle of this year, July, the MLS will no longer be able to be a place for the sellers and the listing agents advertise that there'll be a 3% buyer's agent commission being paid, or any buyer's agent compensation that will pass through. They will not be able to now market that on the MLS. And there'll be some other changes as well that was agreed to in the settlement, whereby buyers, whenever they meet with a real estate professional the first time and they want to go out and look at some houses, that real estate professional will be needing to sign a buyer representation agreement with that prospective buyer immediately before showing them any homes. That is significantly going to change the way that we do business on at least the buyer side of the transaction. And the other thing, and the purpose of this video, is also to help you to be prepared now on how to prepare your own business and how to run your business currently to prepare for those changes without waiting till the last minute when they are forced. Right now, currently on my team, we're running through the buyer representation agreements as we have been using them for years, upfront, early on in the relationship with the prospective buyer. We are signing these buyer representation agreements ahead of time already. We've been using them that way, so it will not be a dramatic change for us, fortunately. But the way that we also go through that buyer representation agreement is very clearly that if we're not paid the real estate commission that we charge, and we're very clear what that is, that the buyer is going to have to pick up the bill for whatever is not paid for by the seller. So that clarity has been there. It's incredibly important that we start running our business on the buyer side that way, if you haven't been, and to start preparing these buyers that they may have to pay your commissions and what you charge, and be very clear on that, as we have been doing for a while, and is a very good idea to do it that way. And then that way, your business will not be impacted that much in the months to come. So again, be very prepared. I would listen to 2 or 3 resources to get the facts incredibly straight about in the settlement and what exactly is going to change in the middle of this year, and exactly what those things are, so that we can have very powerful conversations with our clients and be prepared for that, because it is being brought up. The subject is being brought up a lot, and they're asking about it. And you, in order to be the resource for real estate information to the prospective clients out there, need to be prepared to have these conversations, or how much can you say you actually know about your industry, okay? So anyway, that's the purpose of this conversation today. I hope that's very helpful. Any other questions, feel free to reach out, and we'll talk to you later.